Hi, this is the project for ABE 591 with Jennifer Pfeiffer, Meg Skripka, and Kaylee Hodson. And in our project, we tracked the functionality of the celery bog through history in order to determine its current functionality and how urban developments have affected it. We start off with a brief introduction of the area and its importance, as well as a map kind of zooming in on it so that the general public can know what we're talking about. As you can see, we can go into some of the functions of a wetland as well as definitions, again, to keep it accessible to the public. And then we go into a background of how Celery Bog was created, starting with a glacier and then moving into a lake and finally into a fen. And then we also talked about how in the 1800s the land was drained and it became agricultural land until it was abandoned in the 1960s, and all of that undrained area became saturated to form the current marshland. We also go through some contemporary history talking about urban developments because we wanted to show how this would affect functionality. So we start in April 1993 with some Google Earth images, and in the red here I highlighted some areas that have significant urban development ending in 2018. We talked about why these changes are important and then also highlighted the Lilly Nature Center and gave a little link there so that people could go see more information if they wanted. In our project, the parameters that we measured were total present plant species in the 1990s with vegetation surveys. We also looked at the ratio of native to non-native vegetation, some random vegetation indexes, both ground-based and aerial imagery, and then some soil type and soil color surveys. We talk about how this fits into the functionality of a wetland and then go into methodology. For vegetation surveys, these were surveys in 1991 before a lot of development happened. It's also when this area was first delineated. And in this area, we kind of understand that the wetland was suffering a lot even at this point from a lot of the agricultural use, but it also had a lot of native character left and potential. We go into NDVI in order to talk about another vegetation index and have some results summarized here. We didn't find any huge differences through time though. And then soil surveys, we talked about how the color of soils can show the carbon content. Here's some of the data that we actually found. There's a thing of the soil surveys. And finally, we conclude and talk about how we're going to move forward with that. And here are references.